So I said a script is also called a module. One Python file is called a module. So when you have if double underscore name double underscore double equals to main, basically what you are doing there is that's a conditional statement in Python. You are saying if that a variable called name, if it is equal to a string value name, I mean main rather, then the function that you've written should be run. And the name of the function you've written is play underscore mad underscore libs. So what happens is when Python runs a module, the name of that file during the runtime, the name of that file is always main.
Oh, I
When Python
see.
is, if I'm running a Python module on my system, during the runtime, the name of that file in the interpreter will be changed to main.
So no matter what the file's name is, it's always going to be main. So therefore, this is what makes it so that no matter just by hitting execute, that's what makes this actually run every single time because the name's always main.
Yeah, because the name is always main. That is why it's always, and that name, double underscore name, double underscore is a special character, is a special, let me say keyword in Python.
I
It's a
see.
special keyword in Python. So that is where Python store the file name.
So
Your
that's why it's like basically that's why they call it the main function in this case because it's like that's how you initiate it in Python.
Yeah, that's how you initiate it in Python. So regardless, if you have this condition, if you had not put this condition, your code is still going to run. Let's say you can underline or how do you know comment that line 46.
Hmm,
Yeah. Then remove the indentation. Yeah. So if you run your code now, you can run it again. It's still going to run. Save it before you run. So that it's still running, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You see, your
So
code.
then let me ask then, what's the I guess what are the pros of doing this if you can just call it either way?
Exactly. So one thing in Python is, I mean, I believe you know we can import modules, right? You can like I think
Yes.
in yeah, you can import modules. That is, you can import another Python file, the code in another file, you can use it in another Python file. So when you are importing, that process is called importing. So when you are importing a function from another Python module into a different module. So when you are importing, if you did not put, can you create a new file in the same directory as you have this,
Okay.
a new Python file.
Let's make sure. Okay, it is. Okay.
Yeah,
So
in the same directory, right?
yes, yes.
Okay. Now do import, then the name of that file of the other module.
Uh, how do I import it if I have spaces?
That was what I said. When you're naming, I think maybe you
Yeah,
missed the
yeah.
first part. When you are naming your file, you don't put that is why I don't advise you put I mean you don't put a space when you are naming
Like
your
in here.
Python file. Like follow the same protocol as your variable. When you are naming your variable, you don't use a space also.
Okay. So
So you
let me
can
go ahead and change that
yeah,
real
you can
quick.
rename the file. Yeah. Mr. Fabrice, welcome.
Thank you, Prof. Sorry I was late.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's all right.
Thank you.
So I think a lot of people actually came late. So we thought to wait for some 15 minutes, but it's above 14 minutes already. So you can just try and, I mean, this is part of what we were supposed to talk about today, but you can as well just listen. We'll start afresh later on in a few minutes.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So I renamed it now.
Okay, you've renamed it. Yeah, so when you are importing, you don't include the .py.
Oh, that's what I'm messing up.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
you just
There
keep
we
the
go.
name of your file. Yeah, cool. So now when you import it now, save this file, save this file.
Okay. Save.
You save it. Now run it.
Here.
You see?
It ran. Yeah,
It,
I see
it
that.
ran. Exactly. So that is why Python, and this is not supposed to be, because when you are importing another module inside another file, you most of the time you import it so that you can use some function inside that code, inside that module that you are importing.
Right.
Yeah, and now that you import it, that code is already the whole of that file is already running. So to avoid that, Python creates like that approach of having if name equals to main. You can go back to that file now. There's that previous module. Go back to it. Yeah. So the code is running in that other file in your test.py. That code is this particular module is running there because there's no you did not put a condition that. Remember, I said the if name equals to main is a condition that checks for the name of that file during runtime.
Right.
You remember that, right? Yeah, cool. So the reason
Yes.
why people now put this is to check if actually you are calling that Python file to run.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, then if it was imported, then it wouldn't have the main folder. It wouldn't have the main name, so therefore it wouldn't run.
Exactly. When you are
Gotcha.
importing, the name of that file, I mean, the name of the file is not going to be main. It's not going
Gotcha.
to be main. So to put that kind of that restriction somehow, to put that restriction, yeah, that is why you have this code. You most of the time you see some code that has this condition. So now you can uncomment that line 46. Yeah, then put the indentation, save it.
Now
Have you
running.
saved it?
Yeah, I saved it. I saved it.
Yeah, so if you run it now,
Now nothing happened. No, wait. Oh, wait.
uh close
I
the,
think that,
you can press
yeah,
Control
how do
C,
I
press
control
Control
C?
C.
Okay.
Yeah. So now you can run
Now,
it again now.
and I think, one second, let me do this. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's run, but nothing is showing. The code is not
yeah.
running. It only imports. So now you can go inside your test file.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can now call the phone. You can call the using this my awesome madlib game. You can say my awesome madlib game dot, yeah, dot play and adlibs. Yeah. So that's how you call the function from inside that module. And now if you do this now, if you save this and run now, the code will be running.
There we go. Yeah.
You see that? So that if name equals to main is mainly used to avoid that kind of import scenario where you are only importing, you don't want to run the scripts. To avoid the code from, I mean, to
Gotcha.
prevent the code from running. So it is always good to put that if name equals to main in your code.
So let me ask something then. I guess this is more of a technical question, but in this case, would this be considered more like an object and this like a method, or is it still considered a function here?
Yeah. So Python is a bit different from Java or the C family, this thing. Everything in Python there's a saying that everything in Python is an object. Everything in
Okay.
Python is an object. A class is also an object. It's a data type.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
what we did here now, this my awesome Madlib's game dot play Madlib is just like that is how you call it is called that notation is the dots notation, which
Mm.
is same way you call your methods, right?
Right.
Yeah. So now this play Madlib, remember I said everything in Python is an object or
Yes.
a data type. So this my awesome madlib, you can also see it like it's an object, of course, not even like see it as an object now. It's an object. And the play madlib is a method attached to that object. In this case, in this scenario now, play madlib is now the method attached to the my awesome madlib, what's it called? Object.
All right.
But if you don't want to think of it that way, just see like the way you call a method inside a module, or you call a function, and maybe a function you've declared inside a module. The way you call it is to whatever serves as a pointer, that module name. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying now. Whatever the module name is, if this is the way you import it, say if you import the module itself, then if you want to call a function inside that module, you have to use the dot notation, like you've done now. Or
Right.
there's another way you can import. In your line 2, you can do from my awesome madlibs game. Line 2, you can write this. Yeah, I can do from, you see, there's another, just press tab. Yeah, exactly. So that's another way you can import a module in Python. Those are
So
like
if I
this.
did it like this, then would I just do like this to
Exactly. So you just call play madlibs and it's going to, you can comment the first one. Yeah, then
and then we
save
run
and
it.
run.
Yeah,
So that's still going
I
to work.
see.
So those are like the two ways you can import a module in Python.
So what if I know something else was like you could do like as like
Yeah,
this.
an
Could
alias.
do
That's if you want to give it an alias.
alias.
Yeah.
I see. Gotcha. Or
So it's still everything is still going to work.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your help with this.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So I think we can get started with what we have in plan for today. Welcome everybody. Cowboy, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me share my screen. So any question before we start with what we have today? Does anybody have any question? Probably while you were practicing. Let me quickly just do this. So there's another assignment for you on the Google Classroom. Yes. So the third assignment is live. I've not assigned a deadline yet, but I think before Thursday. I mean, today's Tuesday, right? So before Thursday, that's like you only have like a day, or I mean, like 48 hours or so. Yeah. The questions are actually very simple. So, are you with me?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the assignment is on now. Yeah. So,
Practice assignment 3.
what did you say?
Practice assignment 3.
Yes, practice assignment 3. So I picked it from the textbook I told you about. So just know that if you are able to solve them, then you're on the path to becoming what's it called? A very good Python programmer. So and just ensure just try and make more research. If you think there's something you don't understand, make more research, can put it on Google. If you don't understand any part of it, just put it on Google and see. That's how you learn actually. You go from one page to another. Or if you think, okay, maybe you probably didn't understand a part from what we've been talking about so far, you can rewatch some of the videos.
Okay.
And I'll also
We'll give it a shot.
I'll upload this slide for today. I'll also upload it on the classroom. So today, this is what I have planned. Will be oh no, sorry. This is a different, yeah, it's supposed to be this. Yeah. So I was going to do much. I think we've talked about the input function already. So that's going to save us some time. And secondly, we'll be talking about modules. So which was I mean, that was basically what I just explained with what's that called? Was it Mr. Fabrice?
No, no, it wasn't me. It was Badley.
Oh yeah, Mr. Badley, yeah. So that was what I just explained with him, but then we'll still go over it again. I'll still go over it again. There also, if time permits, we'll be talking about loops. That is how you can avoid repetitive code. If you want to write a code, for instance, let's say you want to print your name, you're asked to print something 1 million times. Like, for instance, let's say you're asked to print a name 1 million times. It wouldn't make sense or it won't be efficient if there's no way you can save time by, looping. That is writing a block of code and repeating it 1 million times. It won't make sense if Python doesn't have that capability. But fortunately, there's a way you can do that in Python, such that if you require to do something a million times, like repeat something a million times, you don't have to write that code that will do it 1 million times. In just 2 lines, you can do that thing a million times. So we're talking about loop, and there are 2 ways we can do loop in Python. We have the for loop and the while loop. Yeah. Then we also talk about functions. So which was, I think Mr. Badley already did some of these things. So, but for anyone that is also new to this, don't worry, you understand everything. And yeah, so just like I said, I'm going to make some reiterations on, is it reiteration? Yeah, about the input function. Like I said again, it's a function, not a method. And now I think you know what the difference between them is. A function is not attached to a specific data type. A method is what is attached to they all do a specific function. They have what they do, like a function, a task they are assigned to that they do. But the way they do it, in the sense that a method works closely with a specific data type, but a function can work with any data type. Yeah. Aside from that, they work the same way in the sense that after the keyword, there's always a parenthesis, and inside that parenthesis, you can pass arguments or what we call a parameter. And the way you know the arguments they take or a parameter they take is to read their documentation. And of course, also because now we have an intelligent code editor. Say I want to use my input now. The documentation also shows why you are typing it. So you can know that, okay, for this input now, it only takes one argument, or it only takes one parameter, which is a prompt. So something happened in the last class, I think I remember now, where I did something like this and there was an error. Is anybody still having issue with string slicing? Anybody?
Yeah, can we go over that?
Okay.
Please.
No, it's all right. Don't worry. Like I said, don't be shy to raise anything. If you want us to, that was like Pastor Wilfred actually allow us a lot of time. Like we can, dwell as much as possible on any topic till you understand it. So, yeah, we should start with this, right? I think we couldn't finish this in the last session. I'm just remembering now. So, this one says task 1, slice the word so that you get work. Let me see if I can. Okay, let's just do this. So we have a variable called homework. No, sorry, not a variable, rather. We have a variable called WRD, which is word, and it's storing a string value. So we are asked to slice the word and get just work. And there are different ways we can do that. So answer 1, the syntax for slicing is that you have your object, that is the value of, because slicing, you do slicing on string and or collections. So the syntax for doing string slicing is, sorry. So that it's not as if I'm talking abstractly. Yeah, so this is the syntax. That is the way you go about your slicing. You have your object. So object, this S is like the object. Object in the sense that your string value. What you want to slice, you have it. Then it has to be followed by square brackets. This square bracket like this. And inside that square bracket, there are three things you can pass. The first is the start, where you want to start your slicing. And after you specify that, the index of where you want to start slicing, you put a colon. And after the first colon, you specify where you want it to stop. And as an additional, parameter, there's what we call a step, which is also being, so there are three things you specify when you are slicing: your starting point, your stopping point, and the step, that is the number of characters you want to skip. By default, the number of characters you want to skip is 1 or 0, basically 0. But remember, I said you always need to add 1 to it. If you want to skip a character, if you want to skip a character, and you want to specify your step, it's going to be 2. If you want to skip 2 characters and you want to specify it in step, it's going to be 3. So that's one way you can see it. So remember the pattern now. So back to the question, it says we should slice out work from homework. Our object, what is our object? Let's make this interactive, please. What is our object? What
WRD.
WRD.
Which is equal to homework.
Homework, exactly, which is storing homework. Then after that, followed by what?
Bracket.
Square bracket, exactly. Open
square
and close.
Bracket, yes.
Yeah. So because we want to extract work, so that means this is what we want to extract out. This, I don't know, my highlighting is not really doing. Yeah, but you can see where my cursor is. This is what we want to extract out. And what is the index of the first letter in that case? That is what is going to be our start, where we want to start. So now, remember I said indexing in Python starts from 0. Indexing in Python starts from 0. So H is occupying the 0th position.
So W.
Yeah. O is what we have in the first position.
This position.
Or position 1. Then position 2, we have M. Position 3, we have E. Position 4 is where we have W. That means our starting point is W. Then after we've done that, remember your colon. And after that colon, what are you going to be specifying?
The stop.
The stop, yeah. And what is our stop? Remember, W is 4. This other whole is 5. R is 6. K is
7.
But if you are specifying your stop, you also need to add 1.
Yeah.
Which is 8. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly, 8. Like I said, the step is most of the time, if you're not skipping anything, if you are not skipping any character, then you don't need to specify your step.
Okay.
But then if you still keep it at 1, by default, your step is 1. So if you have to put 1 again, it's just like we are reinvent, what's it called? We are wasting our precious time. So, but let's just leave it at that, and let me assign it to another variable, our answer, just like it is expected. Let's assign it to answer 1, and let me print that answer 1. I've saved it and let me run. See, we have work. So if I remove the one, like I said, the step in this case is not really important because we are not skipping anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It still works fine. And another thing that I think I remember I told us is if when you want to extract something like this and you don't need to, there's nothing else you are interested in at the end of the your object. Like in this case, we want to pick everything from our solution still works if we pick everything from the fourth index till the end, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So in that case, since you have like everything, you are picking from that fourth index onward, like everything from that point onward. There's no restriction like till the end of the object, right? So in that
Yeah.
case, your stop also becomes optional. Your stop also
Okay.
becomes optional in the sense that you don't need to specify it or anything now. So what we are saying here now is not saying like start from the fourth index and pick everything from that point onward, which is still going to give us our results. Work.
Okay.
Is that clear now?
Yeah. Yeah. For this example, this one is very clear because I chose the second one.
Yeah, you specify. Yeah, it still works very fine.
I chose it like after the bracket 4 and then yes, I didn't put the 8, but it still gave the same result. So it's good to know. Very interesting.
Yeah, all done. So there are scenarios where imagine if you okay, don't worry. I think you'll get it yourself without even me having to even explain. It's best you learn from practicing better than me just explaining without. So I'll add to you the assignment. I'll add to the assignment, and in this case now, you won't have what's it called? Instead of having having to hard code your object, you'll be taking your object as an input. The user, you write a code that takes a user input. Oh, let's just quickly do that. Let me just quickly do that. Let me say inputs. Enter any word, and I will return the last. Enter any word, and I will return the last. How can I do it? How can I formulate this? And I will return the. Okay, and I'll return the last. Let me say 5 characters. Does anybody have an idea of how we are going to implement this? I want to write a code that will ask user to enter any word. I don't want to know what that word is beforehand. And my code must return the last 5 characters of that word. Anybody wants to try before we go ahead to solve it? There's no stupid idea. If you have any idea, be bold enough to show it off.
Maybe you could go from the back end like -5, like -5. I'm not quite sure if that's the right notation, but would that work?
Yeah, that should work. You know myself, I will have to like try it out to see if it's going to work. So let's go. To try to see if that is actually going to work. Let's quickly run a check. Let's say I have tutorial. The last 5 character is going to be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. It's going to be Oriel, right?
Yeah.
Oriel. Yeah. So let's see if this is going to work. Minus 5. Or is it minus 6? I think. Okay. That approach does not work. Doesn't work. Then let me see if I can. So remember, I said most of the time, if I want to use this indexing, when I want to use the negative indexing, I just try different this thing out to see the one that's going to work out for me. There's a rule to it, but I don't want to like just master that rule on how to go about using it. Or sometimes I even forget how to use it. The one I'm more conversant I use daily is the positive indexing. So, but let's see if this is still going to work. I'm saying start from -5 till the end. Yeah, this should give us awesome. It works. It works fine.
And this way, so like basically this will be a way you could do it where like no matter how long the word is, you'll always get the last five.
Yeah, there's a way. So negative indexing works for that. And if I still want to use positive indexing, there's a way I can use positive indexing, but my code or my line of code will be longer. In this case, I mean, this is like a very easy, straightforward approach now. I just have to do -5 now, right? What I had in plan before, because I said I'm used to positive indexing. So if I was going to be using positive indexing, I would need to add some more lines of code, like having to check for the length of word that the user enters. Like say L length of word, then I'm using the length function. Do you remember this function? I've used it before. I said it is it is a function that returns the count, the number of characters that made up your string, and not just your
Yeah.
string, any collection in Python, any sequence in Python.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is going to return the length of what the word that the user returns. And after I've gotten that, then I can now say, okay, that word minus -5. I can now say length of word. Let me just length of that word, then -5 should be my starting this thing. Or is it going to be, yeah, let's say we have let's say we have tutorial 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. Then 5 minus 3, 5 minus 8 is going to give us 3. No, then this should have been 6, 2. It's going to be 0, 1, 2. Oh no, 3. It makes sense to have it like -5. So you get what I'm trying to do now. Answer 2 equals to WRD -5, and boom. So I want to print answer 1 and answer 2. Just so you know that we can have, using positive index and negative index, we can have the same. Yeah, so let me run this. Syntax, invalid syntax, why? Length of word. Line 1. Can anybody help me spot what the error is? That's because I'm still in my Python shell. Did you see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I run this now, you see, enter any word and I will return the last 5 characters. So let's see, enter tutorial. Tutorial. And if I press enter, you see, they both return Oriel. So I believe you already know how, the negative indexing approach is very straightforward. So let me now explain what I did with that positive indexing. So what happened first is I'm getting the length of the word that the user enters. And if I print that, let me comment this. So I'm printing out the first, I'm printing out the length of the word so that we know what is happening. Or before let me Control C. So let me just do this. Length of word. That is the first thing we are printing. And after that, let me also do something. This calculation that I did there, length of word minus 5, I want to take it away. I want to assign it to a variable separately and call it starting index equals to length of word minus 5. And now let me print the starting index. So the second thing that will be in our output is after the length of word, you have the starting index. And yeah. And then I can now say answer 1 is the starting index. Starting index is going to be my starting point, and I think I can print answer 1. Yeah, so let's run it and see. Let me say tutorial. Let me still use tutorial. Tutorial. Okay. So let me now explain this code that I've written now. So what I did was I asked the user to enter any word. And of course, the user enters tutorial. The user entered tutorial, which is an 8 letters word, which is what I was trying to get here. So this line of code returns the number, the count, returns the count of characters in user's input. So it counts the number of characters, the length of character of the word that the users enter. And of course, tutorial is 8, right? So that is why 8 is getting printed out. 8 is getting printed here. So the length of word, which is stored in len underscore WRD, is 8 as expected because the word is tutorial. And after that, we are now saying, since we want to get the last 5 letters, So the way we can get our starting point, I believe you all agree with me, the way we can get our starting point is to extract 5 from the total number of characters. I mean, I think this is where you may probably find it hard or something, but this is like the logic. Intuitively, you will agree that that is like the logic. If I want to, let me give a real life scenario now. If we have 8 students, and we want to pick the last, okay, say we want to know the last 3 students that came late. If we have a list of students in the order in which they came to the class, and we want to pick the last 3 that came late, it is same thing as saying we want to separate from the total, the list of names that were present in the class. It is something as saying to get the last 3. It's something as saying remove the first 5 that came early. Then from that remainder, we can get the last 3 that came late. Right?
Yes, makes sense.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but in this case now, what we're even now saying in this case is from all the class members, or from all the class members, remove the last 5. Remove the last 5. That's basically the calculation I'm doing here now. Saying 8 minus 5. And when you do that, you'll be left with the first 2, right? Or even the first 3 in this case, because 8 minus 5 is 2. But Python index is 0, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be left with 3. So that's basically what we are doing. Saying, let's have the first 3 that came early. Let's have them. And the last person in that first 3, is going to be like the starting point for the people that came late. If what I'm saying makes sense.
Yeah.
We have, let's say we have A, B, or no, let's even just do it like this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is like the position of how the letters came, like how of the letters. And now to get where we said we need to separate the last 5,
Mm-hmm.
which is this from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, sorry, from 3. I'm coming. No, sorry. We have 8 letters, right? So
Mm-hmm.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 makes it 8. And I said we need to remove the last 5, which is 3,
Mm-hmm.
4, 5, 6, 7. So what we are now saying here, the little calculation we are doing here, this subtraction I'm doing here is I'm saying remove the last 5 from the total distance, from the total count. Remove the last 5. And after removing that last 5, we have three distance left.
That's
We
right.
have 0, 1, 3, which is like the last. And you all agree with me that after this position, after these 2, anything from the position of 2 upward, they are the ones that came late.
That's right.
Exactly. So that is just the little logic I'm trying to implement here. Saying subtract 5 from the total, what was it called? From the total sequence or the total character that made up the sequence. And when after we did that, we got 3. And now we are using that 3 as the starting index. So we are basically just saying we are starting at 3, right? So we are saying exclude 0, exclude 1, exclude 2. Or in this case, in our tutorial now, we are starting at index 3. T is index 0, U is index 1, T is index 2, O is index 3, which corresponds to where we are interested in. And now we have that.
Audio.
Does that make sense? Is anybody still confused? Please speak up if you still find it confusing. So that is just one way to go about it. But thank God we discovered that negative indexing could have done that easily without having to go through all this ASU, all this problem. So instead of having to do all this, stress and all these things, thank God for negative indexing. With negative indexing, we can just do this and we'll have our response. It's very straightforward. Let me copy. So in just 3 lines of code, we have our solution using negative indexing. So with negative indexing, let me just use this opportunity to explain negative indexing again. So remember, this is always our start, and this is always our end or our stop, and this is always our step. So to explain this negative indexing, now what I'm saying is start at -5. Let our starting position be -5. And this is our tutorial, right? This is tutorial. I remember I said negative indexing goes from the right to the left. So -1 is L. The character in position -1 is L. -2 is A. -3 is high. -4 is R. -5 is 0. So we are saying start from -5. That is, start from the O here, rather. Start from O. And our stop, we didn't specify anything as our stop. We're saying everything from that position forward.
On.
Did we get that?
Yeah.
So that is one okay. So I think what brought us to this point is I was trying to explain the scenarios where you will not be required to even specify your stop. Like in this, in our case, in our scenario now, you agree that if we specify a stop, there's even no need to specify a stop because you don't know the number of characters that your user is going to enter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's no need for you to specify your any stop. It's just good for you to specify your starting point and let the Python do the rest.
Okay.
If we specify 10, let's say we specify 10. If we specify 10 and our user enters a word that is more than 10, it's not going to give us the last 5 character.
That's right.
Let me do this, and it's going to raise me. The code is going to run, but there's going to be an error because of this tutorial. It will tell us it's not defined. Yeah. So let me run it again. So if I run this now, and it says, let me enter hippopotamus. Am I correct? I don't know. I have to sing the song before I know the spelling. So hippopotamus, how many letter? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I think this is right. So let me do this. You see, we only have theme or term instead of thermos. So in this case, you all agree that there's no need to specify any
The
stopping point.
stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. There's no need for. So that's how you know when to use a stop and when not to use a stop. In this case, we want to return the last 5 characters. So it doesn't, last 5 characters, you don't need to specify a stopping point in that case. You don't need to specify a stopping point. But when your problem or what you're trying to solve requires that you even know yourself, you know it yourself when you need to specify a stop and when you don't need to specify your stop. So is that clear? Let's move on to another example. So the second tag says, the second question says, slice the word until W. Why do you have this? Okay, slice the word until W. Until W, then dot home. I don't get this. Is this how? Let me check the question again. It's not quite clear. Okay. Okay, slice the word until W. Oh, okay. So what the question is saying is we should slice the word and we should extract just home. That is, stop your slicing at before W. Don't include W. Write something that's going to return home. That's what the question is saying. Saying slice the word until W. That is, you stop before you get to W. So that means we're only interested in home.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. Remember your syntax again. WRD, which is our object, followed by parentheses, followed by square brackets, and our stats. We are starting from the very first one, right?
Yeah.
Which is, what's going to be the index?
1.
We want to pick home. What's our starting point?
We're starting from H, so H will be 0 plus 1. That'll be 1.
Any contrary opinion? You don't add 1 to your starting point.
Got you.
Yeah, please know that. You only
So
add 1
0.
to your step and your what's it called? And your stop.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
So 0.
we are picking from H and the index of H is 0. So that means our starting position is 0. And we are stopping at E. Right? What is the
Yeah.
index of E?
3. So that will be plus 1, 4.
1, 2, yeah, 3, exactly. And like I said, remember, if your stop where you are stopping is 3, then you add 1 to it. So that makes it 4.
Okay.
And with this, we should have ohm.
And then there's another way that I did.
Yeah.
I started from the left, and then from the over here, I didn't put anything, and then I started from the right. Basically, I started from the right, and then I put minus 4.
Like this?
No, remove the minus 4, and then whatever there's the 4, yeah, put minus 4 there.
As your stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Still going to work fine.
Okay, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you did there was, and let me show you another thing. Another way, the way I would have actually done it, like what I'll call like the easiest and the very straightforward way. Let me call this answer 2. And please let others contribute, please. Like others should please also speak up. Let it not be just one person. We're all in it together. So one thing I would have just done is to just specify my stop. I'll just specify my stop as 4. And so this still works very fine. You see, ohm. So let me
Okay,
explain
this
this
one also
approach.
works.
So same way you remember when you are picking from a
Got
point
you.
from a specific index forward, same way you don't have to specify your stop. Same thing also applies to when you are picking from the very beginning. Let's say you have a problem that requires that you pick from the very first character till a certain point. Then at that point, you don't necessarily need to specify your starting index.
Your starting index, okay.
Yeah. If you have to like specify your starting index as 0, it's as good as not putting it at all.
Because you're starting from the very beginning. But if
Yeah,
you're
because it's
starting
starting
somewhere in
from
the middle or after the first character, then you have to specify that.
yeah. Then if it's not starting from the very first beginning,
Yeah.
like if it's not starting from the beginning, then you need to like specify your like a starting point.
And then do you add the 1 or you don't?
You don't add 1 to your starting point.
Okay, so always the starting point, you don't add the 1, you just go straight to
You
by
just go
counting
straight
the
to
first
that.
as 0.
Exactly. You specify
Okay.
the index that you are starting from. Exactly. But for your
Okay.
stop, you need to add 1.
Okay, makes sense now. I get it. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, for me, task 1 and task 2, they were okay. I was okay with those 2, but task 3 and task 4, those are the ones that give me kind of like a challenge.
Okay, tax 3 and tax 4. Okay. With that. So
Yeah,
let me just put this straight. You see the same way we've been coming up with different solutions for the same problem.
That's
Get
right.
the same output.
That is how it is. Like you don't necessarily have to have the same line of code, but it makes sense that your logic is right. It's good that your logic is always right. Just like the person that suggested this now, this is very right. This logic is very right. Same one, the one I did here is also very right. And if I had specified say I have answer 3 as WRD and I did 0 for this is still very correct. If you analyze everything, there's no limitation to the 3 solutions that we've provided. So everything works fine. So that's still correct. You still have your 100. So just know that there's no one particular syntax or there's no most of the time
there's no unique solution.
Exactly. If you want to prepare a rice, it's very similar to programming is very similar to some reward things that we do. If you want to prepare a rice, some of us would boil some of you will boil the
water.
You boil the water before you even pick the beans from you pick the rice from wherever you are storing it. Where some we have to take it from where they are storing it and even rinse the rice before they put the water on fire.
Multiple times, but at the end of it, you get
at
your rice.
At the end of the day, you have your rice cooked and you eat. So same thing with
Wow.
programming. There's no one way to say
it.
this is how you do this thing. There can be different ways you can come about the same solution. But in some cases, some solutions are more efficient than the other.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's the difference between a good coder or a good programmer and
And a
a
good,
rookie.
yeah, exactly. So, but the most important thing is that you understand what your code is doing.
That's right.
You understand, like now I understand this. If you had submitted a solution like this, as a good programmer, I will understand what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so note the all different approaches, but the thing, sometimes there's what we call the brute force approach, which is like the very first idea that always comes to your mind when you're trying to solve a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, it's always advised that when even in most cases, not just like advice or anything, most of the time when you're trying to solve a problem or build a software, most of the time, when you're just giving it the first trial or like when you're doing it like the first trial, it's always like the brute force approach that you use. Like you just use anything that comes to your mind. You write the logic as it comes to your mind. Then after you've come up with a solution, that is when you now start looking into optimizing that code,
Okay.
like trying to see where you can improve it. So it's not like maybe when you're writing your code, you now have to like be brainstorming on, no, this is not the approach I should use. This is the approach I should use. It's always advisable to just write it as it comes to your mind first before you now start thinking about optimization.
Okay.
Yeah. So that advice is more for like a software engineers or data engineers. But as data analysts, you won't even be, most of the time, you will not need to be optimizing anything. Your end goal is to be able to analyze data. So most of this optimization, I mean, having to write the best code or anything, if you can write a code that that will give you the solution you are looking for, then you are just as good to go as anything. So the expectation is not that is not that high on data analysts when using Python.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. So for 3 now, it says now try to get me only. Okay. Let me comment this. Try to get me only. So we're only getting this. I mean, this should be very straightforward. Remember our syntax. What's going to be our starting point?
So this one,
1, 2,
3, 0, 1, 2. No, we're starting from 0, so it's 2.
0, 1, 2. Yeah.
So I think it'll be like 2:4.
2 and 4. Yeah.
2 column.
4.
Yep. That's it. Then
Straightforward.
mm-hmm.
So I would always suggest that if you're always think positive first. Think positive indexing before you think of negative indexing.
Oh, okay. Try the
Yeah.
positive one before going to
Yeah.
the negative.
Always, whenever you need to do any slicing, always think of positive indexing first.
Okay.
Yeah. The only time I think of negative indexing is if I need to reverse, because if you need to reverse it, if you are asked to write a code that reverse this particular string now,
Mm.
the easiest way you can use is to do negative indexing.
Okay, if you want to reverse, okay.
Yeah, if you want to reverse, that's the only time I personally think of negative indexing. Or if I'm writing a code that needs to pick, let's say the last character, it has to do with picking the last character.
Mm-hmm.
Like now, if I need
Then
to,
you do the
you have to
reverse.
write a code that takes the last character of a string. It's always -1.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you look at my code, if I need to pick a last character, it's like I said, this slicing is not limited to string alone. There's what we call array in list in Python,
Mm-hmm.
like a collection of objects, collections of objects. You can also slice that one. That you can also get subsets. Just like in mathematics, you can find a subset from a universal set, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you want to do that, you can also do that in it's actually slicing. You can also slice other data types in Python, like the list, set, list, and I think tuple. Yeah, you can always slice them like that. So if you want to pick like the last element in a collection or a sequence of characters, it is always -1. But back to just my advice, always think positive before you start thinking of negative.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So 2, 4, and we have our solution. Then for the
and here I did something different, but I think I got the same output.
Okay.
So I put 2,
probably
then
try
-4.
-4. That means you understand negative more.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense too. It makes sense. So
I
-4
put
and
like 2 semicolon and then -4. So start from 2 and then remove everything from -1 all the way and then stop here. So it gives me just ME.
Okay, so what you did was I'm coming -1, -2, -3, -4.
Yes. So it's gonna remove work. The -4 will remove work, and then the 2 will remove the HO.
Like this, right?
No. So it'll be 2 in the bracket. You put 2.
Okay,
Yeah,
you put
remove
2
the
first.
-4.
Specify it
Yeah, 2
start as
first.
2.
Yes, and then -4 here.
-4 there. Okay. Okay.
That's
It still works fine. Still works
yeah.
fine. Even
But
that
that
I feel
one
like
is a bit.
this is like an overkill. But like I said, the one that comes to your mind first. One that comes to your mind first. Another thing, another way you can even do this is to say -4. Specify your starting point as -4, which is saying this work, right?
Yeah.
And I think if we do, I'm coming minus H is minus if this is -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, that would be -8 minus 7. I think if I do -7, let me see if this is going to give us the same thing. No, it doesn't work that way. -6. Oh, still doesn't work. Okay, -4. Okay, I think if I do this and I give -1 also, this is going to reverse it for me. Okay, let me know. Let's not bother ourselves with
Yeah, this one
whatever
is
approach that
just
comes to your mind
interesting.
first, but always think positive. That's how
Always think positive, okay, before you
always
do
think
negative,
positive.
okay.
Yeah, trying to positive is very easy.
And even in real life, they ask you to think positive. So hey,
Yeah.
that's a
So
good thing.
always think positive first.
Yeah, always think positive.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to make an example the other time. If you need to reverse, let's say you're asked to write a code that reverse what's it called? That reverse the homework, for instance. I think in this case, since we want to reverse everything, right? So there's no point specifying we are not selecting a subset. We are returning everything. So there's no point specifying a starting point and an end point. I think that should also, I mean, let me quickly just do this also. So if you want to return all the whole object itself, you have to make a subset from the whole string set. Then you also don't need to specify any start or any stop. In that case, so if you're asked to like return homework in full using slicing, so it's something as not specifying any starting point or any stopping point. But remember the colon. Yeah, so if I do this, we're going to have our homework also. Or even if you have your if you have 2 colon there, that means I'm saying my starting point is 0, then whatever the ending character is, the ending index is for the stop, and also for my step, I'm not specifying anything. Basically, just saying return everything as a whole. And if I run this, you're still going to have your homework.
Okay. That's interesting.
Python. Shit.
Actually, this is very simple if you've understood where we were coming from the fact that I said, if you did not specify a starting point, that means you are starting from the very beginning. Now imagine you are not specifying a starting point and you are not specifying a stopping point. That means you are picking everything till the end.
Yes, from beginning to the end.
From the beginning till the end.
And then there's no step. So okay.
There's no step, which is I know step by default is 1. which means you are not skipping anything.
There's no step,
So
you're not skipping anything. Okay.
yeah, when it is 1, you are not skipping anything. When it is 2, you are skipping one character. Yeah. Like in this case now, if I want to skip, if I want to return HMWR, I'm skipping a character, right? After H, I'm skipping 0. After M, I'm skipping E. So then I will have to specify my step as -2. So this should give me HMWR. Oh, what happened?
Because you said minus, it has to be
Oh,
positive, right?
don't
You
mind me.
started from,
It has to be
okay.
positive. Yeah. Yeah, HMWR. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I say another example, if you asked to reverse a string, like reverse everything like that, so most of you where you need to specify your this thing is your step. Make your step -1. These are like the most like scenarios that you actually experience most of the time. So you see.
Wow.
So just know this: if you want to reverse a
Oh, so basically, okay, you start reading it from the right. Okay, it's reverse. Okay.
you use. So let me just give this.
Wow.
The only time you use negative step, I mean, if you use net -2, it's going to work as well. But then the only time I use negative step is when I need to reverse. When I need to reverse the whole string, or not even the whole string in this case. Now, if I need to reverse anything, let's say I'm extracting just home. That's starting from the beginning till what's the position now? I want to pick home. What's going to be my stopping point?
You want to do what?
I want to extract home.
You want to extract home.
Yeah.
And then reverse it.
And reverse it. So I'll specify that my starting point should be 0.
Yes, right.
Then what's going to be my stopping point?
1, 2, 3,
5. Oh no, 4.
4, because I'm stopping at E, right?
Yeah, 4.
E. Yes, 4.
Yeah, E.
And then reverse it.
Reversing, because I want to reverse, that means -1.
So it's gonna be
Now it's going to be EMOH.
EMOH. Yeah.
What did I do?
What? Hold on.
I'm coming.
Oh, you didn't put the 0.
No, it shouldn't
Oh
have.
no.
It should have also
Yeah,
worked.
yeah. So -1. So the -1 will skip.
I'm coming -1.
Mm.
I've actually never tried this before. Like most of when I need to reverse, I reverse the whole string. But
Okay, but not.
I expected this to also work,
Mhm.
but it's not working. So what's going on? That means it doesn't. I mean, if it doesn't work, that means Python doesn't allow it. K arrow. It's only picking K arrow.
Okay, that's right.
KRO from the beginning. Okay.
Actually, there's going to be an explanation for this, but I don't want to bother myself with any explanation about that. And I don't want to start racking my brain to understand the pattern. Just know that the only time, if you need to reverse the whole string, just select all the characters and put -1.
Okay.
That is, I mean, that is the most very, how do I put it now?
Easiest way.
The most very likely scenario you will encounter when developing your application.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if you want to reverse the whole string, just put -1 as your index, select the whole thing. If you have time, you can, see why. You can try to come up with a reason why this is work based on the fundamental rule.
Okay.
You can see why when you specify 0 and 4, it is only returning K arrow. You can try to, go using the fundamental that this is your starting point, this is your stopping point, and this is the step. So you can see why see why this is giving us K arrow. But other than that, you may not really need to bother yourself with it. Just know that you use -1 to reverse the whole string character.
Okay.
The whole string, yeah. So then for the last one, it says We started by 1. Oh, time is up already, right? We used an hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes. A lot of people came late. So. Okay, no problem. I don't want to. After this, then we can call it a day. On Thursday, we'll do module and this thing properly.
Module.
So then the last one says, now slice the word with steps of 2, excluding first and last characters. Excluding first and last characters. Okay. Excluding first and last character. That means we are not starting from 0.
Yeah, we started from 1.
Starting from 1.
And then excluding the last character, which will be -1.
Okay.
You say think positive first.
Yeah, think positive first. But I think
Okay,
-1
don't do
should
the
also
minus.
work.
No, don't do that one. Let's do the positive.
Exactly. So 0, 1, 2,
1.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The last character is 7.
Will be
8.
Remember, we want to remove it.
So write 7 then.
So yeah.
It's going to be 7. If we want to include it,
start from 1, end at 7, and then 2.
Yeah, then the step should be 2.
2. Yeah.
So what will be the, can anybody guess what the answer is going to be?
So the answer will be O, skip 2, W, skip 2, R. Oh, no, H. So we're starting with this and then skip 2. Oh my God, hold on.
Let's type it. Let's type this. What we think the answer is going to be. Let's type it in the chat.
Okay.
Everybody, please. Everybody.
Okay, where's my chat? Okay, so the answer starts with
1.
Skip 2.
Think of it critically. Take your time. Let's not be lazy. Take our time. Let's think of it critically. Think of it critically. Don't feel pressured. Calm down. Feel relaxed and think about it.
So this one will be so
Wheel. Why am I not having responses in the chat? I only see from
we're still calculating.
okay.
So start this, so skip 2. Okay, okay, I think I got something.
Nope.
This one got me. I have no clue on this one.
I'm expecting to have OEO.
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 Yeah. Let's see before we run it.
Okay.
Our starting point is 1.
Yeah, which is H.
Our starting point is 1. That means we are excluding H.
That's
not
right.
H. We are starting at 0. So which is
O.
Okay. 0, 1.
We have Ome work.
And then
then
the work is not, the K is not on it. We're excluding K. We're stopping at R.
7. We are also excluding K.
Yeah.
Now we have
So this is what we're working with.
Yeah, this
and then it says skip 2.
Skip 2. But remember, when you are skipping 2, you are only skipping 1 character.
Not 2.
Or you can also interpret it
because the default of a thing is always 1.
Yeah, so you can see it this way. If you don't want to also, if you don't want to view it as adding one to step, you can also interpret it as always pick the second character.
Or always pick the
Always
second character.
keep the second
Always
character.
skip. Oh, me, I thought like skip 2. And then, so me, that's why I said, okay.
You're not skipping 2. You're just skipping 1.
Okay.
So we are picking O, excluding M. We are picking E, excluding W. We are taking 0, excluding R.
Oh my God, I was way off.
One. Yeah, it was way. Oh yeah.
So if we run this now, we should have OEO.
Oh wow.
Okay, explain it one more time, please, because my
Okay,
God, I was way off.
We are starting from, we have homework.
Homework,
Yes.
that's correct.
Our starting point is 1. That means we are not starting from 0. We are excluding H.
Yes, that one I understand. Yes.
Our stopping point is 7. And from the original test, this is O, H is O. H is 0.
H 0.
O is 1. M is 2. E is 3. W is 4. This other O is 5. R is 6. K is 7.
Okay.
But remember, if you're going to be including this K, our stopping point is going to be 8.
Yeah.
But because it is 7, that means we are stopping at the 6th index. Because it is 7, our stopping point is 7. That means we are stopping at the 6th index, which is R. Then we remove K. That means we are excluding K, basically. And we are left with OMERO.
That's
this
correct.
Yeah.
I remember I said our step, by default, step is always 1, which means you are not skipping.
Okay.
Now that we have our step to be 2, that means you are skipping 1 character.
Okay.
So no matter the number, you just go by 1 by default.
So after the first one, you skip a character, right?
Yeah.
Let me write it again. Let me write it out again. So we are picking the first one. We are excluding the second one, which is M. We pick the one that follows, which is E. We skip the next one, which is what?
W.
And after W, we have O, right?
That's right.
We are picking that, and we are excluding the one that follows.
Okay.
So that's how we have OEO.
Oh, wow.
Okay, another question. What about if our step was 3?
Yeah, if our step is 3, again, we are still left with OMIWO, like this this word.
Yes.
We are still left with that. But now we are skipping 2 characters.
2. Okay.
So that means we have after O, first O, we are skipping 2.
We're
skipping ME, so it's
followed
going
by
to be W.
We are skipping the next 2,
and
which
then
is
skipping
OR.
the last 2.
So that means we're going to be having OW.
Okay.
And
So whenever they said we always do -1 to skip. Okay. So 2 means we skip 1, 3 means we skip 2. So we do -1 because the building is 1. The default is 1.
Yeah, the default is 1.
Okay. I understand that now. And then whenever we start from let's say the beginning, we don't add 1. We always add 1 at the stop.
You always add 1 at the stop.
Okay. Same thing in the reverse too. Okay. Thank you, sir. This one I got it now.
Okay. So I'll still add to the assignment then, just to make sure to reinforce this. I hope you don't mind.
No.
Okay. So yeah, I'll add to the assignment, and I can also extend the submission date so that we have enough time to do them.
All right, that'd be great. And also the course material for today. You said you're going to upload it.
Okay, yeah, I will do that immediately after this call.
Yeah, for me, the last two you just did, those are the ones that kind of like, but now it makes sense, it makes much sense to me. Thank you very much.
Me too.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So please always, whatever assignment I give to you now, always attempt to solve them. Okay. And you see that you are improving on your program. The way you think now is beginning to change, I believe.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, the way you think, you now start to think like a program. You think there's what we call thinking programmatically. All these exercises these are what like they are trying to build. They may be,
Okay.
you may think they are very simple or stuff like that, but they are what I'm dealing with is your mind.
That's right.
Yeah. So what I'm dealing with is your mind. There's a way the more you solve these things, the more you're more like you are tuning your mind to think like a programmer.
Mm.
And before you know it, it will just come naturally to you. So I will add to the assignment and let's expect that. So thank you so much for being attentive and for your contribution. So by next class, by Thursday, we'll start from module. But before then, if you have time, you can read about it and just see if you can understand it. I'll upload the slide as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So just
Okay, Prof.
Wow. Thank you for your patience. Appreciate
oh
it.
yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So please don't feel shy. Ask any question. Let's just all interact like we did today.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So have a wonderful night rest.